bitch niggas better ante up or elevate. I need 6-figure money, won't have the bucks and hella cake. Fuck boy, I been on dummy, shoot hella ops, make them a day. Yes, I am big killers, wanna make them to the strap and the hella way. I throw shots, get the job, and just test watches, they swim away. I don't stop shooting till you die, and yo, that's nothing, then I skid away. This a hollow tip, shooting till you die, and yo, that's nothing, then I skid away. This a hollow tip.
Man, welcome back. Top of the morning, man. All the above, everything else you know I usually say. Goddamn it, what up? Right, don't need a long introduction. Nope, not at all, man. Because look, I'm back with another episode, of course, always. And this one, I don't know if I introduced this person to y'all. You know, I'm not sure. I introduced Elizabeth April, the remote viewer, who was magnificently correct on everything she remote viewed, surprisingly. But this one here a little different. It hit different. She a neuroscientist. One of the subjects I love studying, one of the things I wanted to go to school for. But once I started finding out school was bullshit, they were steering niggas where they wanted them to go. You might want to go to be a firefighter. They're gonna be like, no, we got a therapy class for you. You can try, and you like, no, I'm straight. I never learned nothing in that class because you ain't finna never get a job in that field. Let's face it, this lady here went to school for neuroscientists. She got 2 degrees, not just 1, 2. You understand what I'm saying? And that's big. That's big when you think about it. It's hard. It takes a long time to get those degrees, gang. I ain't gonna lie to you. You got to be in school and you got to be devoted. You understand what I'm saying? You really got to be devoted to get those damn degrees. So we diving, man. We finna dive, and let's check her out.
Sounded cool. So I switched my major to it, immediately fell in love, like aced my first exam. My professor reached out to me. He was like, congrats, you couldn't have done better. And I was like, get me in the research lab. This is so cool. So I started studying learning memory, the perception of time, all throughout brain development in undergrad. So that's what I was doing, fell in love with research. But I always kind of knew that I wanted to be more kind of preclinical, helping people more directly, like studying learning and memory is cool, but I wanted to be able to like help people and solve problems that doctors couldn't solve at the time.
Sorry, what does preclinical mean?
Like, for example, so preclinical research is sort of research that happens before, we take a medication, for example, to clinicians to use, right? So you're doing sort of research to investigate new ways to treat, for example, relapse or treat depression or anxiety or Parkinson's disease. And so that's kind of like preclinical work before it goes to clinicians, basically. And so actually it's funny that you were kind of talking about nicotine before this, because I used to be addicted to nicotine, and that was sort of why I initially became passionate about studying drug addiction. And I took a class in undergrad about why the current treatments for relapse don't work. And they're really just they don't really work because they're just putting Band-Aids on the symptoms of the problem rather than actually solving the problem. And that's why research is so important, because you can go and investigate what the problem really is. And so immediately I was like, this is it. This is what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to go and cure relapse to drug addiction.
Like, hey, look, research. Don't nobody want to research nothing no more now. They like, man, look, that is what it is. I think that's the assumption. That's the conclusion. No, go a little farther. Dig in there, right? Do some digging. You got to dig around, bro. So to get to any problem, you got to get to the rooter to the tutor, and that's what you got to go to just to figure out what's the issue, what's the problem, fix, how you gonna fix it, so on and so forth. But she finna bust this down because, like she said, it was a like interesting and exciting topic or study or a subject just to dive in. Like shit, if it take you from drug addiction, she started studying drug addiction, and it led to neuroscience because shit, drugs fuck with the brain. Drugs do things to the brain. So she want to know, why don't the classes they give everybody help them? Why, if they put these people inside of these classes and they, hitting them with all this medication, and the medication supposed to cold turkey stop them, why isn't it not working? Why do they fall right back into the same symptoms and cycles? Well, she gonna get to the bottom of that.
Go get my PhD and I'm going to win a Nobel Prize for this. And so, from then I was like, okay, let me go get my PhD in neuroscience. So that is sort of how I became really passionate about drug addiction research and how the path that led me to the PhD. So yeah, I moved to Arizona, started my PhD in neuroscience with a minor in medical pharmacology so that I could study drug addiction. And that's what I was doing for a few years.
That's really crazy. I mean, did it work for you? Did the research help
you? She did
you?
stop smoking.
How do you know?
Because she had to go to university to do it.
You don't know. Are you making these assumptions?
He is making assumptions. And I would say the research in itself, no, but my knowledge of the brain, absolutely, yes. I taught myself to associate, and it was vaping for me, but I taught my brain to associate it with just the feeling of disgust.
You rewired your brain.
Yes.
So you took a feeling that you didn't have before.
So rewiring your brain is real then, right? Basically, that's what she's saying right now. Because it's like this, if you don't know nothing, you want to rewire your brain to know something, then you want to rewire your brain to the point that not knowing nothing feels bad, right? It feels hurtful. It feels sickening, right? If you do just that, you actually stand a chance of maybe 75% of wiring yourself to, kill all the limiting beliefs. Put the cat down, please. Thank you. Move out your way. And you rewire yourself to narrate your beliefs, which that's what you want to do. You want to narrate your own beliefs, not wired in ones, right? Not at all. But watch how she busts down. She said he making assumptions. He said, how do you know what she did? You know what I'm saying? He really want to know, like, was you with her? Was that a thing? Was y'all in the same group class sessions, or when she was doing her PhD study? Did you get your PhD with her? And dude, funny as hell, though. I like him, man. Shout out to these two. They got a funny podcast. They got great chemistry together, too, when they usually do podcasts together, because he's the devil's advocate, and sometimes the other guy, I'm talking about, he go over the top with his characteristics. I love it, though. So shout out to them again. Let's let her finish, because she finna go deep, deep, deep. And look, everything she gonna really say to us is about how she taught herself. She didn't get sat in the corner and smashed across the head and made to learn this stuff and understand herself. She's had to sit and teach herself. She had to go through things. And this type of neuroscience teaching is only self-experimental. It's only self-experimental. Can't nobody get in your head and live your, life or your walk for you. You only can live that. So
something that you liked, and then recoded it.
Yep.
And said, this is disgusting.
Yep.
The action of it.
It's exactly
buying
what I
it, putting it into my pocket, putting it into my mouth.
So I would
blowing out the smoke.
I would let myself carry it around still, and I would let myself have the craving, and I would put it in a place where it took me a second, so that there was kind of a gap between the initial craving and the action of actually doing it, because that's what addiction is, right? It becomes like this mindless stimulus response behavior, where the stimulus is like seeing the vape or seeing the cigarette or whatever it is, and then immediate response. Or for example, social media, you see the notification, all of a sudden you're picking up your phone and you're scrolling, and you don't even know how you got there, right? So I kind of added a little bit of space where I still would carry it around. I'd put it I would drive and I'd put it underneath the passenger seat of my car, and I would get that craving, and I would at a red light, it gave me some time to kind of rewire that association. And the brain's an association machine. You're in a relationship with everything in your life. Yes. So I would pick it up and I'd be like, oh no, this is disgusting. And even if
not too many people know your brain is an association machine. If your brain used to something, it'll start predicting those things for you. It'll actually start creating those things for you. And even if those things is not something that you really addicted to, like, okay, the smoking. She said, well, she had to trick her brain, put the damn vape in a different area. You know what I'm saying? So, because when you do that, that gives your body the feel of it's going to take a while for me to get it. Like when you at work, you can't smoke inside the job, right? So therefore, you don't want to keep running back and forth outside to smoke, which eventually slows you down from smoking that whole day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be like, nah, I'm straight. I want to just finish my job. No, I'm straight. The car too far. No, I'm straight. The parking lot far. Because jobs, they parking lots usually way across the line. They tell you now you got to stand like shit a couple 100 feet away from the building when you smoke, because it's a non-smoking zone. You feel me? That right there alone is a trick to the mind to where now your mind is a prediction engine. Your mind grabs it like, well, since that's too far, I got to go this far away. I can wait. And your mind cut off the need and the necessity for that smoke at that moment. So the jobs got it great. Like I noticed that because when you go out there like Quad Graphics, you can't smoke on a property at all, nigga. You got to go, I think, at least a block away. The whole block that they building is on is non-smoking area, non-smoke zone, right? And due to that fact, you got to go way down there. Now they got the sign up. Some people might got asthma. It might trigger some people. What's name? Some people already had cancer and they got the machines and shit. So if you dare smoking, my nigga, you going to jail. Simple and plain. The sign right here on the motherfucking wall. They got the right to call the police, right? Now, due to the fact you got to walk a block away, your break only 15 minutes. You ain't finna walk. What? Nigga, the walk is 15 minutes. Then you sit at the table. Now you got to walk back. That's 30 minutes. Now you late. And if you do that more than 3 days, you can get terminated. You can get suspended. It's a couple consequences that can take place. But, that rewiring that she did with that vape thing, that was a slick trick. That was a nifty trick. You know what I'm saying? It sort of auto-triggered your mind to say, you know what? Let me learn to turn those wants off. Right now, I can wait because that's too far. It's too much. My break gonna be gone. I ain't got enough time. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the coldest tricks.
I wanted to still hit it, I would, but then I would make sure to like pay attention to the feeling of feeling gross that I just did it. And I would sit in that feeling and really feel the feeling and make sure my brain was paying attention to it. Yeah. And over time, yeah. And so even after I quit, I would get that craving still, of course. And then immediately my brain would remember, oh yeah, no, that's gross. We don't really want that.
Okay, wait, so help us understand, or help me understand really the process of what's actually happening, because you're
but how is that gross? Like, look, if you've been an avid smoker for 20 years, like 20 years plus, right? How can you, and let's say how, I don't know, I think Emily might be 30. She said she started young, teenage years, so she got over 15 plus, right? How at that point of 15 to 20 years plus smoking, would you cold turkey turn off that siren in your brain? Like, hey, yo, you know what? Because most people nowadays, they'll tap that same want, that same action to like a stress cause. Some people will not with everything. You can smoke weed. Some people nowadays smoke marijuana. They be like, well, it's for fun. It's for recreational smoke. Sometimes they be lying. They be for stress and they don't know it. Now they got so used to smoking it. It's recreational because when they get with their buddies, shit, we partying, we roll up, blaze up, right? When you smoke a cigarette, it could be for, some people say recreational. That's what it was when we first started. When we was young, it was to look cool. It was a recreational thing. Now, when you get older and then you see other people like, I'm stressed out. And they be like, wait, you eat when you stress. You drink when you stress. You drink water when you stress. You sleep when you stress. Smoking can't be because you stressed out. Those don't matter. Smoking is an addiction. It's a habitual addiction. That's why she just named it like it's a mind to hand thing. It ain't because of you stress, because if you was in a job and you were stressed, you can smoke. You can leave and smoke. You got to sit there and deal with your stress. So therefore, what she did was she rewired her brain to learn that power in herself. Like, oh, wait, that's right. I got to deal with the stress, and dealing with the stress help you override that stressful. You never was able to override that moment because you never dealt with the stress. You never walked through it. You never just walked through the problem hand to hand and say, you know what, I'm going to face this problem. I ain't going to try to fix it. I'm going to face it, walk through it, feel it, and understand it. Therefore, you would have been able to deal with the stress and stay at your normal self, like easy peasy.
Vaping, you're saying, disgusting. I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, but there's strawberry flavors. I don't even vape, by the way. Never smoked. But in my, I love strawberries. I'm like, that's how they'd get me. But I feel like I can have the same story with like ice cream late at night or, chocolate. And then somebody else might have it with social media where they go, oh, that's exactly me. Every time I put it out, I've lost 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, but I didn't actually want to be here.
Yeah.
So how does that work? First of all, what is happening to the brain when you're doing that, when you're doing something you don't necessarily want to do, but you keep finding yourself doing? What is happening to the brain? And then I want to get to how the rewiring actually works.
Yeah. So what's happening is really just maladaptive habit formation. And that just means the formation of bad habits. That's all it is. It's just learning. And I think, in undergrad, I was definitely divinely led on the path toward studying learning and memory first, because then I really understand the process of learning. And that's really all it is you've just learned a behavior. Your brain has learned a behavior, and it's learned to automate that behavior so that it's no longer a conscious act. For example, getting up in the morning and hopefully brushing your teeth is an automated behavior.
How will they know? They'll never know.
Well, I'm hoping that that's an automatic behavior for you.
But before you move on from that, then why is it that good habits are harder to keep? Like, I know that working out is good for me. I know that going for a walk is good for me. I know that stretching is good for me. I know all these things. Okay. And then I'll do them and I'll feel good after doing them. But then yes. I don't find myself craving like a gym session. I don't find myself being like, it'd be nice right now. A little bench press. I know it's midnight, but I can sneak in a little 250.
You see, I like to do that sometimes, but I'll tell you, there's a couple things there. All right. So if you want to talk about the neuroscience of habit formation, the way that every single habit is formed is it first begins as a dopamine-driven activity, right? So when social media first came out, you weren't going on social media out of habit. You went on there because you could connect with your friends, or you could, see, you could post something or whatever it is, right? You went on there for a goal, for a reason. Same thing with ice cream or, vaping, whatever it is. You started it because it felt good. That's why you started.
Okay. So feel good is the first thing.
Right. Yeah. And then that dopamine. So dopamine.
Look, I told you that's the same. That's why I told you with the cigarette smoke. I was 11. I started because it looked cool. Like she said, habits start from because it felt good at that moment. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Ain't no other thing to it. Ain't no stress. Ain't none of that shit. That's all fucking brain work. What's brain work? Habits form because they felt good when you started them. She just, gave y'all the fucking key answer. This is a 2-degree holding neuroscientists who do nothing but study the fucking brain and learning. Like she said, she started with learning and memory first because those are the 2 biggest compartments in your brain, your learning compartment and your memory. So if you ain't learning shit, you better dig and do some research on why you ain't learning, and then figure out like, okay, well, how to rewire that. That's what she did. That's how she fixed her shit. Now she tell you also she was diagnosed with ADHD. So they supposed to be some of the people who can't learn, they got problems and all this. This woman went and got 2 degrees. 2. You keep the odds of what everybody talking about. Oh, I ain't learn, I can't learn, and all that. No, she wanted to learn. That's the difference. So she rewired her motherfucking brain, went and got them degrees, and now she on here telling everybody, look, this is why you're going through this. This is why your mind think that. This is why that, and this is why that. And you still got some people right now today are arguing her and telling her, you wrong. Like, you can't be wrong if you're dealing with one of these people got a degree and you don't got shit but a dream and a hope every day you wake up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I never understood that about people. I'm like, dog, you ain't got nothing but a dream and a hope. You barely even know you. How the fuck is you telling me about what? Come on, what a person with a degree. Make that shit make sense. That's why I'm listening, man. But they'll tell us, don't listen to these motherfuckers. No, shorty popping. She pop her shit well too. Emily, Elizabeth, April, she do the same shit. And what's funny is the men that's out here popping that shit, apparently they facts don't be all the way right. They should be backed up by flaws. It go downhill after we start traveling on the road for a minute. It be going good and fine, nice speed and all that shit. But then all of a sudden it lose traction. We slip off the road, and now the story just go tumbling. You know what I'm saying? So, go to the source, and I go to these sources. These people, they do the real studies. These women, they dig until they find exactly where they need to be, what they need to know, and what they need to teach. And that's why she's here right now.
It drives learning. It drives neuroplasticity, which is the ability for your brain to rewire. So dopamine drives learning. And dopamine isn't just released when something great happens. It's also released when something not so great happens. It's more of a salience molecule, which means like, look at me. So anything that really like grabbed your attention, that's why you have really strong memories of bad events as well, because they're emotional and they raise dopamine as well, just in a different way. So yeah, anything that really boosts dopamine, it will drive that learning, right? And so what actually happens is that over time, the dopamine moves from being released when you get the good thing to being released whenever you see sort of a cue or something that represents that good thing, right? So for example, it's super easy to just talk about it with, drugs of abuse, but we can talk about ice cream. Initially, you got dopamine from eating ice cream, but over time, you get the dopamine from seeing the ice cream because your brain's anticipating a reward. So your dopamine moves from actually getting the reward to the anticipation of the reward, and that's craving. So that's sort of how habit formation works. And then once that happens, then you kind of begin this, it goes from this goal-directed behavior, right? And it moves to a stimulus response behavior or a cue response where like before it was like, oh, I want to eat this ice cream because I know like I want to eat this ice cream. It's going to taste good. And now it's like, oh no, I see the ice cream. Dopamine is released when I see the carton. And that's going to drive me because dopamine is also a molecule of action to go and eat it. And you don't want to. It's just that your dopamine has learned to associate the picture of the ice cream that you're seeing with a reward. And now you're not even deciding it. It's just
That's a predictive engine for you right there, right? I mean, you can't break that down no better than that, my nigga. Look, it starts by the reward. The only way learning continues and it grows is because once it's rewarded, your brain starts triggering itself like, oh shit, I got rewarded for that. All right, let me do that again. I'm gonna get rewarded again. Then let me do it again. This time I'm gonna do it twice. Okay, let me do it again. This time I'm going 5 times and let's see what I got now. So your brain is wanting to reward bigger and better and bigger and better and more each time, and until they get so used to it. And it's like, you know what, now when I see that shit, I'm already rewarded because I know what it feel like. I know what it will come with. I know the background of it. So I ain't even gotta wait on it to be given to me for the reward. I already got it because I felt it before. You understand what I'm saying? Right. The mind works crazy wonders, right? And it's like there's so many people are trying to play mind tricks. You let them, but the only thing is you got to stay sharp. And to stay sharp, you got to go outside the box. You can't always stay inside the box. Yeah, you got to walk out the box. The box, life never was created with lines and straight forward paths. No way. Every curve in life in the universe is a lenient curve. Every curve is an actual curve. There is not one straight line. So you gotta stay outside the box. You know what I'm saying? You need to be too in the box. And when you get a neuroscientist who can break it down and tell you why is this, why is that, you can't fucking run your lips no more. Ain't nothing else you can say. You can shut the fuck up and just shut the fuck up.
What's driving you to do it?
This is why ads work.
Yeah.
But I guess it also explains to me why ads are more effective when you've actually had the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I'll watch an ad for like Taco Bell, for instance. Taco Bell ads come on all the time. It's never ever once made me go, I want Taco Bell, because I haven't had Taco Bell in my life. I don't
ever.
Maybe I had it once. I think I had it once on the road when I was with Gabriel Iglesias, and then we bought one of my favorite memories. We were on the road somewhere. Where were we? Maybe we were in El Paso, Texas, or maybe somewhere in that region. And after a comedy show, we'd go and we'd just buy, food, whatever, takeout. And then one day, Gabriel and the gang, we're in the tour bus, and then he's like, he says to me, he's like, he's like, do you want to get some Taco Bell? I was like, I've never had Taco Bell. Everyone on the bus like, you never had Taco Bell? It was literally like an ad. Everyone, you've never had, we gotta get him Taco Bell.
The bus driver, pop.
Yo, bom, bom. We're on the way to Taco Bell. So now we're driving this giant tour bus, like, bom, bom, Taco Bell, here we come. We get there. Now we want to go through the drive-thru. We can't because the bus is too big. So we had to walk through the drive-thru because the Taco Bell itself was closed. So we walk through the drive-thru, and then they just we ordered for everyone on the bus plus more because they wanted me to taste everything. And I'll never forget, there's a moment where I'm walking back to the bus and I'm carrying 2 bags, but I mean like huge bags. I felt like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. You know, when I'd come back from shop, but with Taco Bell. Guys, I've never felt sexier in my life because I love food. I was like, and I'm walking to the bus and Gabriel Iglesias, he's looking at me like from the bus. And he looked, and it was almost like we had the same thought because as I got to the bus, he looked at me and he's like, "You've never looked harder." And I walked on. But that was the only time I ate it, right? Yeah. So, and it was like, oh, okay, whatever.
I was going to say, what did you think?
Yeah, it was meh. It was okay. It was whatever. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't something that it didn't stay with me. Mm. So genuinely, whenever I watch a Taco Bell ad, I don't have I should get that now. But Pizza Hut or like a McDonald's or let them flash a McFlurry on the screen for half a second.
Yeah.
I will find that machine wherever it is.
Yeah.
I will turn it on myself.
You love ice cream.
Hey, my friend.
He's the only guy I know who chews ice cream.
Yo, bro, you know me and you love me. You see, you see me. you see me, Eugene.
Choose ice cream.
He chews it.
Even without
Hey, the only motherfucker chewing ice cream is fucking crazy, man. I ain't gonna front. But you heard what he said, that McDonald's, you let them flash him a goddamn commercial at McDonald's. He gonna lose his mind. He's gonna lose his mind. You know why? McDonald's took it a step higher than others. And when I tell people this shit, they think I'm crazy. Right now, the colors manipulate your mind to feel moods also. Man. So when you know how to, articulate these colors and you know how to shift them and match them with the right colors and mix them and shit like that, gang, not too much here, just enough there, and you feel me? That's when you can subconsciously get people to be influenced by whatever it is you're trying to promote, whatever it is you're trying to sell. Like, I mean, it's easy. You're gonna bust it down too. You're gonna tell you why McDonald's and them win. Is the same thing with Google and IBM. The reason Google gonna sell more than IBM is the colors, it's the logo. You feel me? A lot of motherfuckers don't know that, and if they didn't know that, they're like, "Yeah, I knew that." No, the fuck you didn't. You're lying. You're lying your motherfucking through your TV. Like, you lying right there, clear face. You didn't know that. You didn't know that. So why lie about it, right? Let's keep going though. She's gonna tell you a little something.
I chew it. I savor it. Guys,
he's like an ice cream sommelier.
This guy loves me. This guy knows me. No, but that's what I mean. It's like, so like the ads have more power over you when you've actually experienced the thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right. Because your brain has learned that it's rewarding.
Wow. So then it becomes a trigger. That's how it can work on you. It's like, because now you've had it when you watch the ad or when you see like the social media thing scroll.
I think
this explains so much.
What you're saying also explains why going cold turkey on anything never works. Because anything that you love, there's a process to it. Like how we explained, you going into the shop, choosing a flavor, paying for that, getting the reward of paying for it because have it now, you put it in your pocket. But all of a sudden, if the whole process is cut short, then the reward is not there anymore. Then you start missing the thing more. But I find that when you have the vape inside your car, but you choose not to do it, then you're slowly taking away the one for it, right?
I love that you made that point of like feeling stressed too, because that was another thing. And that's why I decided to do it the way that I did. Because when you go cold turkey, it almost, especially when you're addicted to something, you feel this sense of like stress without it and not having it. And stress reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex, which is the area of your brain that allows you to control your impulses.
Yes.
So it actually makes you, and that's why, when people quit an addiction or something and all of a sudden they feel stressed, they're more likely to relapse because your ability to control your impulses is reduced.
But here's my thing. Do we quit things that we're addicted to because they're hurting other people? Or do we quit because they're hurting us? Because initially, everything, there was a dopamine spike. I liked what I was doing. I was having too much of a good time at a strip club. Now I have kids. Now I have to think, do I tip strippers or do I pay for school fees? Is it the strippers or is it the kids? Am I stopping this because I want to stop or because they're crying because they're hungry now? Not the strippers, the kids.
Yeah.
These analogies are so crazy.
So Trevor thinks this is really funny.
Because he chews ice cream.
No, but I'm sitting here like thinking about this very much from my own perspective and experience. And the way that I decided was it's always about who I'm wanting to become. And it's always about that. And you can never force somebody to quit something they don't want to. Like you have to want to do it. And I think for me, I didn't care to quit vaping. I didn't care how many ads showed me what happens to your lungs. Like, I didn't care about any of that. I was young. I don't care about that. I don't care about my health. Like, whatever. The thing that actually made me care about stopping was understanding that there is a gap currently between who you are now and the version of you who's achieved everything you've ever wanted in life. And when you visualize that version of you, when you
major leap. That was a major leap. Y'all heard what she said, gang. That's some of y'all holdups. That's even my holdup. Been my holdup for years. But a lot of y'all won't admit that though. That's the difference. See, I can admit that, and I'm on screen in a minute, and it's finna spin on YouTube, but you won't. So that makes me bigger than you. Yeah, but that's your holdup, right? Your holdup. Your holdup is that you just won't let go. You just won't shape and shift into that higher you. And the higher you wouldn't be that low as that, would it? The higher you that you really want to be, the all you want to be, with all the fancy cars and all this stuff, the big house, everybody to love you, you famous, people want to come kick it with you. That you ain't gonna get there doing that. You at your lowest right now, right? From your thoughts to your actions, the things you won't let go, the things you hanging on to, all the above. That means lesson. That means lessons and lessons and lessons, and you need to learn them fast, quick. You need to probably let go, because the lesson that we getting from this is you are scared to let go of the old you because you love being the old you, right? To enter into the new you, and then but you would beat yourself up daily, like, man, I hate my life. The life I'm living right now, I do supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in a different. No. It's you do supposed to be here. All you got to do is drop some of the little, just like when a butterfly become a butterfly, go from caterpillar to the cocoon to the butterfly. Yeah, you gotta grow from the caterpillar, my nigga, going to the cocoon, shed that old ass skin of yours off, because that shit been failing you for too long. You've been losing for too long. And turn into the butterfly, fly, spread your fucking wings. Because that old self is holding you back. The old way you think, the old things you do, the old way you thought yourself, oh shit, I ain't good enough, or I ain't great enough, or I ain't powerful enough. And then you're gonna wake up and find that the potential has been in you the whole time. Only in you, fuck what everybody else thought or fuck what they think, is that it was in you the whole time. You was the breaker, you was the carrier of that energy and that potential and that power. So you gotta learn that though, to work with it, because you will beat yourself up daily. Man, I can't do this. Man, my life always bad. It's always horrible. Well, you're making it that way because you think like that, Well, how can I switch my thinking? Well, bitch, you can't until you want to switch your thinking. Dumbass. Like, come on.
Hold that version of you in your mind. Like, that version of you has different habits than you do right now. And the version of me who's boss woman, like achieving everything, she doesn't vape. And so I was like, damn, like if I want to become that version of me and achieve everything I want to achieve, then I need to stop doing this, because it's creating a gap between.
So the version of you that want to be the man or the woman, the version of you that want to be the shit, you got to stop hating. You got to stop being jealous. You got to stop being so fake and phony, right? And I say that, and I can say that because you wouldn't be where you are now. You will be the version you want to be. That's 10, correct? That's basically what you said, because you hate yourself. That's why you ain't the new you. You hate yourself. That's why I said stop hating, stop faking, because you fake the character that's on your face, because you try to put on a different facial character every day, right? Instead of living in the one you got, instead of dealing with that one. And then, the funny part of it is you are steered narrations and you are direct information to basically spree off others instead of relying it to yourself. And that's what all of you out. Every one of you did this before. You're still doing it right now today, probably. You don't even know how to face your risk. And that's what you have to do. She just said it, I ain't gonna say it. She said it better than me. But if you want to watch it, rerun this part of the video, gang, and she chop it down for you. And they gonna do a deep dive on it, which you probably should do already. You ain't doing nothing else. Do some fucking homework, do your studies, study your fucking brain. You know what I'm saying? Your big eye, that study your brain. whoever you are, male or female. You feel me? Just study that motherfucker and learn why you do what you do. Learn why you hate certain things. Learn why you don't like going certain places. Learn why you always stuck in the house. Learn why you always not doing this. Learn why you so motivated. Learn why you ain't motivated. You feel me? Learn where you got demotivated. You know what I'm saying? It's all in here. It's all in the root. It starts in the root. You know, you got a sickness, it starts there in the mind. Start with your thought processes and your energy. You feel me? Wait, you don't believe that either? Well, let her tell it.
Where I am now and where I want to go.
So this is I think something that attracted a lot of people to your account and to your work online, is like there were a lot of people who would give you information about the brain in a very technical way that help you understand how your brain works, what your brain does, you know, dopamine, and there's all these phrases, you know, like a stimulus and neoprene and like all these plasticity. And
maybe you were trying to say norepinephrine.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. That's exactly, but you knew what I was trying to say. You see, that's exactly what. Because every time I see that word, I'm just like, hey man, neoprene.
I knew what you meant.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen how it's written?
No.
Exactly like that.
It is written like that. Neoprene. All right, and then people just sort of just you think you know, and you're like, oh, the neoprene and the dopamine and then the serotonin and then the oxytocin. And, okay, and then on the other side of, like, let's say the internet / the world, you have people who are like, visualize and think about what you want in life, and I think a lot of people would call like woo woo. You know, You'd be like, visualized you, and you're like, all right, and a lot of people love that and swear by it, and then I find these two worlds have often been at odds. So someone who's like deep in the science goes like, don't listen to that. And someone who's deep in the woo-woo goes like, don't listen to the other thing. And then you started showing the connection between the two. You went like, no, let me explain how a meditation does something to your brain. And let me show you how your brain responds to what you want, to what you think. And let me show you how a visualization shifts you and shapes you. How did you start thinking that? Because I'm assuming you didn't learn that in school.
No. And I actually get asked all the time, any books you recommend? I'm like, it's very much a connection between two disciplines that I love and that fulfill me. But yeah, I would say in school, when I was getting my first neuroscience degree, I have 2 degrees in neuroscience.
Hey, yeah. One for you and me each, Eugene, to make up for the degrees we never got.
He said first?
Hey, dog, said one for you and me. The other day it said, to make up for the degrees we never got. I mean, the way she bust that down, but she finna give us some topics, right? And she gonna explain, I don't know if this is the video. She had 3. It was core ideas and topics that they asked her. And each one was very specific. They was very on the head, right on the dime. She knew exactly what she wanted. She wasn't unsure. She wasn't indecisive. You know, she just knew where to shoot. You know, your mind is like a gun. So when you aim that gun, the bullets are the energy. You feel me? They are projectiles. And once those get to coming out and they hit the target game, but the thing is, you got to know where you're aiming to hit the target. Right? Once you hit the target, everything comes true. Just like when a bullet hits somebody, it's hit, they bleed. You understand what I'm saying? So your mind energy is that powerful. It's that powerful. It's powerful. It's a projectile. It affects things. It enters things. Yeah, your energy can enter things. So many people tell you, I know this. Well, bitch, use it then. Right? You keep your fucking mind like a 9. Then if you know so fucking much, right? At the end of the day, I don't care what y'all know. I got somebody with 2 degrees right here that know way more than what you ever know. And I know that because they on my television screen and you ain't got that. Oh, and I'm on your screen too. But at the end of the day, I feel like studying the brain is something that's needed. Most people are fucking stress their brain out. They'll burn their brains out worrying about what president being chosen, who doing what city got blew up, who buying this, you know, how much money in their pocket, or no, man, fuck all that shit. The whole fucking purpose is studying yourself, not wasting your energy spending boring time with others who want to waste your fucking energy and time. They ain't teaching you. You ain't learning. Yes, relationships is the most important, but long as they are beneficial. And I don't mean by beneficial with money, with knowledge, with teaching you a lesson and something that you need that lesson to be taught, whether it's maybe you don't know how to love, maybe you don't know how to be friends, maybe you don't know how to give space, maybe you don't know how to create boundaries for yourself. All those things is the purpose of the teaching. Not for you to sit around and down talk nobody, not for you to talk behind a motherfucker back, not for you to get in the motherfucker face and fake smile and then go right behind the motherfucker to say something. You know, unless it's true, then you can say that same shit to that motherfucker. No talk. Other than that, no, you gotta pick knowledge up from them. That's what you gotta do. So, you know, and I used to be the same motherfucker. I used to do the same shit. Trust me, I used to be talking mad shit about. And look, and still will, but this time I'll tell you right to your fucking face. Listen, bitch, you're lazy. Now we family. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you, goddamn it, we family. You getting told no matter what. I don't give a fuck about that. That don't stop since the grandma days. None of that shit. But niggas on the streets or somebody you at work with, people you go to school with, nah. Nowadays, no, you gotta stop that right there. They kill you. Niggas too sensitive, females even sensitiver. They kill you out here. You tell them something about something and they feel like, wait, I know this already. They didn't. They just defending it. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, first she didn't know. She went to school, forgot the degrees. She started to help everybody around her camp, trying to fill them in. Some people fight her off. Hey, get out of here with that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. You know? And people was open to it. Oh shit, tell me more. That shit sound interesting. I want to know more. Nobody ever struck my mind with interest like this, and probably nobody ever will in real time right now either. I say that there ain't nobody on my block striking me with no knowledge that I know. I always say that, and I mean, and I stand on it 10 foot, like, because that's not the world we live in. Right? Nobody knowledgeable. People are more fucking caught up on problems, drama, and stress. So you got people like good friend M here, you know, to keep us on track with the energy part of life, with the spiritual part of life, like tapping into who you really is, your purpose, not being destabilized mentally. You feel me? Not being distracted mentally, because the world is full of distractions. Everybody will try to distract you. They want you to be distracted and put your energy right in their field in their life, but it's not beneficial. If it's not a knowledge-based type of thing, it's definitely not beneficial. You know, if it's not a spiritual growing moment, it's not beneficial. And every moment can be a spiritual growing moment. It got to depend on the right moment. Nowadays, people come to moments with negativity. And me personally, I don't live in moments with negativity. I'm like, fuck you, the negative moment, and you again, and however you got there, motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? Because my mind is like M's. My mind is like Emily's. Fuck what you talking about. I'm way on a different study, and you niggas will never get us there. We'll fucking die in a boat with you niggas, gang. Right? With M, at least I can put my life in her hands, and I guarantee we gonna make it, motherfucker. Let me tell you why, because she studied the brain. She go to the root. Guaranteed we gonna make it. Hey, what was fucked up today is gonna be fixed tomorrow, because she breaking cycles with the brain study. So let's keep going, because it get deep though. Hey, and then dude, dog, these too funny. They too funny. Shout out to them, man. But let's keep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I do too.
So yeah, when I was getting my first degree in neuroscience and studying, especially just the different sensory systems. So for example, your visual system and how your brain constructs everything that you see. Like, you're not seeing the world with your eyes. Your eyes are just taking in light signals. And then those light signals travel through the brain where your thoughts, emotions.
Now, when I tell people this, you ain't seeing through your eyes, they look at me crazy. You're right. This nigga, he sound crazy. He been watching that bullshit on YouTube. What the hell he talking about? You ain't thinking about it. Bro, it don't take a nigga like me. I ain't graduated nothing. I ain't have to go to school for that, because school's gonna lead you the wrong way anyway. How you with all these limited ass beliefs, thinking this and all this shit. She finna tell you why your motherfucking eyes don't see the world and why color ain't real. She finna tell you. Hey, some of you dumb motherfuckers still won't disbelieve it. Like, yeah, right, that shit. Niggas documents. Like I told y'all, she got 2 degrees. You niggas ain't got none. I don't. And I ain't finna fake claim that I do. But I know y'all niggas don't got none in this category, my nigga. And to me, if you ask me, this is the number 1 category that relates to your spirit. Your brain is connected to the spirit, my nigga, through the spinal cord. Right? Make it make sense. Make it make sense, somebody. You know, but like I said, our culture, they can't. So we got to go to their culture, because they got the knowledge. Ours, I don't know what we are. I don't know if we trying to dress to impress or prove. These motherfuckers knowing shit. Simple.
memories, your beliefs, who you believe you are. All that's incorporated before the image is even put together that you see by your brain.
Wait, let's slow that down. Just go back on that, because you're going to say it and then we're going to act like we completely got it.
Yeah.
Which maybe you did, but wait. Your eyes are not seeing, they're only taking in light.
Right.
Okay. And that light is then going into
the brain.
Traveling through the brain, all these different areas.
But it's basically being bent by your memories.
Exactly.
The way you think about the world.
Your current emotions.
Your current emotions.
Mm-hmm. You ever heard the saying, seeing the world through rose-colored lenses? When you are in a positive emotional state, your brain actually constructs color as more vivid. So you actually see the world more vividly and more saturated. So literally the world is more colorful and you actually are seeing the world through rose-colored lenses.
That means there's almost a scientific backing behind the phrase, woke up on the wrong side of bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Your energy state is so important. And then that goes back to exactly what you were asking me about is, how did I start to connect spirituality and these woo-woo things with neuroscience? And I think, exactly when I was learning about these different systems, and vision is just one of them. They all work this way. Like, for example, sound and the way that you hear, like the membrane in your ear is organized by frequency. And if you're on the woo-woo side of the world, you may have heard before that different frequencies of sound can have different effects on you.
Yeah, and like sound bowls,
right?
And all of those
solfeggio
things.
frequency.
Yes. That's why I sleep with my solfeggio frequencies on. And I sleep the headphones right on my ear. Damn. Right, because it open your brain doors. It open different chemical doors in the brain once you play different frequencies, like she just told y'all. For some of you dummies, I don't see color. It just intake light. It's a whole nother wire that runs from the pineal gland to the eyes, and they connect. And that shows you what this is a third eye. So you dickheads been, damn, I'm looking at my eyeballs. These colors real no. No. Go to neuroscience. Go study. Go do your homework. Do your research. Your shit ain't seeing no color, my baby. That shit seeing light, pure light. Light get constructed into color through waves, through frequency waves into the pineal gland, and that bitch show you the color you see. That's why if we in the same room and you stressed, I can't be, because what you thinking about, I ain't thinking about. You feel me? What you looking like, I ain't looking like. And that's what's called energy absorption, and being able to cancel that and render yourself back into your energy. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Absorb. That's all you did. You did with the eyes. Absorb light and send it to the brain. Yeah. So we do the same thing with the body. She said everything worked that way. Sound, your mind, eyesight, pain, happiness, stress, energy. Once you learn that, you learn to manipulate those energies and systems. You understand what I'm saying? But only for the better, not the worse. So that's why I love studying too. I'm like, damn, the best study is the brain, because once you got that down pat, everything else outside of the body you can control. As long as you can control that. Simple. Some people try to destabilize that. Some people will throw you off from that. Some people will distract you. All these, what if this? What if that? Throwing these fears and worries and all that shit. That's they fear. That's they worry. You feel me? Now, if you know how to shield your energy, gang, then you ain't got to worry about it, because when they direct it towards you, that shit only gonna bounce back 7 times. That's how the universe works. Where energy also ascends it back in a multitude of times. I mean, everything works this way. Thoughts, sound, light, physicality, everything. You see, and that's another reason, like I said, shit, I would have stayed in school and class for that, but fuck that, I ain't have to stay in school and class to know all this knowledge. I got this shit right from here, my nigga. The shit you looking at me on YouTube, bitch. Anyway, let's keep going though.
528, 432. And both of those have studies showing that they do actually impact the brain in different ways, and binaural beats and things like that. So literally, actually, it all clicked one moment when I was laying in bed one night in my apartment, whenever I was in undergrad, and I just was listening to, and I sort of went on this spiritual journey toward the end of my first degree in neuroscience. And I read the book, The Untethered Soul. If you guys have ever heard of that, it's really good. But And so I started meditating and I started, doing and I was laying in bed listening to 432 hertz as I was falling asleep. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. The membrane in the ear is organized by frequency. What if this certain frequency of sound is activating my brain in a specific way and actually changing the way that my state of mind is? And that's why these frequencies of sound work. And I pick up my phone, Google it, and there are papers showing exactly what just popped into my head. 432 hertz has been shown to boost alpha wave activity in the brain.
But I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why I hate when listen. That's why I listen. I think I don't even talk with niggas no more, gang. A lot of time when I tell niggas this shit, I don't know what I'm talking about. Bitch, shut your dumb ass. So I think that's why you niggas gonna remain stupid out there. You niggas, because you don't know how to inner shape yourself. Y'all trying to change your outer. You trying to change anything on the outside of you. See, you like the rest of the motherfuckers who want to go to the gym and get buff, right? And the first thing you do when you get to the gym, you do 2 days in the gym, and then you like, man, this shit ain't working. I don't see the results. I know that because I used to do that. I was guaranteed. You know why you don't see the results? Because you just told your fucking self you don't see the results. So you know what your mind did? Your mind picked up that chemical to not even put effort into seeing the results. You see, one thing you do is if you go into anything with a negative or a scary mindset, like, I hope I win, you automatically release a chemical balance or a chemical compound that goes into your brain and creates a chemical imbalance, gang, that's narrate all the fucking winning, the champion that was in you. It narrates that and it put this loser in you. Like, all right, I hope I can do it. Let me give you the hope power. Now you don't bulk up enough energy to do it. You ain't got enough motivation to do it no more. You feel me? Now you're a little shaky. You scared. Like, I don't know. Now you judgmental. You look at them like maybe they might beat me. I don't know. So all of this shit is a chemical imbalance. It's an offset. And you know what to do with the most? Fear. Yeah. Fear. Being fearful of anything, being scared of anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. That is the number one killer. Fear kill careers. Fear kill thoughts. Fear kill thoughts of positivity. Fear kills creativity. It kills your intuition. All the above. And at the end of the day, once you learn that, I mean, you got a better chance at, I don't say surviving, I say living. Because being in a survival state of mind, my nigga, that's bad too. If you look on Google and you look up the mental, you feel me, and you look up the survival rate, survival state of mind, you look up the auras, look up the frequency. Look where survival at. That's at the bottom. It's at the lowest tier. That's near death. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I only speak positive about anything I plan on doing. I don't say the hope shit no more. I don't even want to talk with nobody who got, or I hope it work out, or you make sure this ain't no, make sure nothing. The shit gonna work how I want it to work because I'm narrating my motherfucking reality. You know what I'm saying? Y'all people out there with disbelief, y'all lacking, the confidence in your belief, motherfucker. You ain't creating a reality, and one thing you should do is create that half and half reality for yourself. Not telling people you hope and all this extra shit. That's why I learned to isolate myself from people. Like, don't nobody mind work like mine. So, and if they thought they did, they don't got the belief I do. They halfway believe in themselves, right? And then you'll get people who try to make you not believe in yourself. How you feel? You show you straight? Is it you think you got that? I know I got this. Shut your dumb ass. Right? If you knew I got it, motherfucker, that means you don't believe in me. Right? That means you the motherfucker, right? So, like I said, she'll tell you with neuroscience studying, you'll learn to stop letting people shift their beliefs that they believe about themselves onto you. That's what motherfuckers do. Yeah. They'll see you tackling a goal and they're like, hey, dude, I don't know if that's gonna work, bro. How you gonna handle all that? You got this. Shut the fuck up. I know how I'm handling it. This how I'm handling it. I ain't worried about how I'm handling it. Just know it's gonna fall through. Okay. And if you tell you that yourself, you don't supposed to be worrying about how I'm gonna make it. You just gotta know it's gonna happen. That's it, and that's all, motherfucker.
Alpha waves are associated with a sense of calm. And so, people on the woo-woo side of the world say, oh, it's really good for meditation or sleep. Yeah. And then in the science world, it has been shown to help people fall asleep, stay asleep, boost alpha waves in the brain. And so that was kind of my first moment of, oh, maybe there is some overlap and there are some kind of
right between the different worlds.
Right. And so that kind of just started me on this spiral, this upward spiral of just connecting dots everywhere. And I think I've just got, and then, moving to Arizona, I was just talking to your team about Arizona, and the desert is a very spiritual place. And moving there while doing my PhD and just really growing in my spirituality while also, of course, doing a PhD in neuroscience. So really studying neuroscience to like the depths that you could possibly study it. And I just started connecting all these dots, and then also connecting what I was learning with my own experiences as well. And I think a lot of people ask me, where does this information come from? And most of it, the information I share is from my own lived experience. And then I'm like, I wonder what's happening in my brain right now. And then I think about it, look into it, read some papers, and I'm like, that makes sense. And then I talk about it.
We're going to continue this conversation right after this short break.
My hour. Hey, look, that's my hour right on his short break. So you feel me? I'm going to let him do his thing too. And I got to give a shout out to them. They great. That's Trevor Noah and What Now, right? And also we can't forget Emily. We can't forget Emily McDonald. I think that was a great 3. If we put them 3 together all the time, gang, I guarantee we get a great podcast every time. I guarantee it every time, because they had knowledge. They were sharing amongst each other. The other guys, comedians, it made it worthwhile. It made it all that much better. That's what it did. But the knowledge they just gave out within that, what was that? 23 minutes. 23 minutes. Y'all see what I did? I took that 23 and turned it into what? 56 minutes by deep diving on some of the topics. Even though she was already deep diving on the topics herself, I still put my 2 cents, my unexperienced, my unprofessionally taught 2 cents. And even with those unprofessionally taught 2 cents of knowledge, it still compared to her knowledge on what she wouldn't have got a degree for, except for she know more than me. She know more. She can go farther. The levels I know, she can dig under those levels and show me how I learned and why I know. I'm like, oh yeah, you close, you right. This is what you got right, and I'm gonna show you where you feel me. Hey, if you want to know why things take place in your life, then you need to start studying your brain. Go to the root. Just like when you got a car problem, what you do? You take it to the mechanic. Just like if you got a soul problem, what you do? You take it to Jesus. Oh, you got a brain problem, my nigga. Take that shit to the books. Take that shit to the brain doctor. You are your own brain doctor. Study your shit. No, like for informative purposes only. For informative purposes, not to be a wise ass, because some of y'all only study to try to be wise, and you killing yourself right there, because the fact that you're trying to find something to hinder somebody else's message they gave you, that creates a chemical offset too. Anyway, I love y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all take care. Stay safe. I am out.
That gang, them grew up in pining. Couple of groupies to fit with. High, no turbulence, vibing. Higher than you niggas getting. Flying while you niggas flyless. Your kind is scooter dependent. I come something new when I'm driving. Driving off the roof, no ceilings. Got a skyline view when I'm riding.